Lock up your libraries if you like, but there is no gate, no lock, no bolt that you can set upon the freedom of my mind. I would venture to guess that Annon, who wrote so many poems without signing them, was often a woman. Why are women so much more interesting to men than men are to women? Books are the mirrors of the soul. If you do not tell the truth about yourself, you cannot tell it about other people. One cannot think well, love well, sleep well, if one has not dined well. Writing is like sex. First you do it for love, then you do it for your friends, and then you do it for money. I can only note that the past is beautiful because one never realizes an emotion at the time. It expands later, and thus we don't have complete emotions about the present, only about the past. When you consider things like the stars, our affairs don't seem to matter very much, do they? As a woman, I have no country. As a woman, I want no country. As a woman, my country is the whole world. The eyes of others are prisons. Their thoughts are cages. As long as she thinks of a man, nobody objects to a woman thinking. Growing up is losing some illusions in order to acquire others. No need to hurry, no need to sparkle, no need to be anybody but oneself. Women have served all these centuries as looking glasses, possessing the magic and delicious power of reflecting the figure of man at twice its natural size. There was a star riding through clouds one night, and I said to the star, "Consume me. I am rooted, but I flow." How much better is silence, the coffee cup, the table? How much better to sit by myself like the solitary sea-bird that opens its wings on the stake. Let me sit here forever with bare things, this coffee cup, this knife, this fork, things in themselves, myself being myself. Second-hand books are wild books, homeless books. They have come together in vast flocks of variegated feather, and have a charm which the domesticated volumes of the library lack. Annon, who wrote so many poems without signing them, was often a woman. Love, the poet said, is woman's whole existence. A woman must have money and a room of her own if she is to write fiction. Orlando naturally loved solitary places, vast views, and to feel himself forever and ever alone. The history of man's opposition to women's emancipation is more interesting perhaps than the story of that emancipation itself. All extremes of feeling are allied with madness. I thought how unpleasant it is to be locked out, and I thought how it is worse perhaps to be locked in. The truth is, I often like women. I like their unconventionality. I like their completeness. I like their anonymity. I am reading 6 books at once, the only way of reading, since, as you will agree, one book is only a single, unaccompanied note, and to get the full sound, one needs 10 others at the same time. Melancholy were the sounds on a winter's night. When the day of judgment dawns, and people, great and small, come marching in to receive their heavenly rewards, the Almighty will gaze upon the mere bookworms and say to Peter, "Look, these need no reward. We have nothing to give them. They have loved reading." Alone, I often fall down into nothingness. I must push my foot stealthily lest I should fall off the edge of the world into nothingness. I have to bang my head against some hard door to call myself back to the body. So long as you write what you wish to write, that is all that matters. And whether it matters for ages or only for hours, nobody can say. I have lost friends, some by death, others by sheer inability to cross the street. She had the perpetual sense as she watched the taxi cabs of being out, far out to sea and alone. She always had the feeling that it was very, very dangerous to live even one day. He thought her beautiful, believed her impeccably wise, dreamed of her, wrote poems to her which, ignoring the subject, she corrected in red ink. I am made and remade continually. Different people draw different words from me. I will not be famous, great. I will go unadventuring, changing, opening my mind and my eyes, refusing to be stamped and stereotyped. The thing is to free one's self, to let it find its dimensions, not be impeded. To look life in the face, always to look life in the face, and to know it for what it is. At last, to love it for what it is, and then to put it away. For it would seem her case proved it that we write, not with the fingers, but with the whole person. The nerve which controls the pen wins itself about every fiber of our being, threads the heart, pierces the liver. What does the brain matter, compared with the heart? I meant to write about death, only life came breaking in as usual. I have a deeply hidden and inarticulate desire for something beyond the daily life. And all the lives we ever lived, and all the lives to be, are full of trees and changing leaves. Literature is strewn with the wreckage of those who have minded beyond reason the opinion of others. I see you everywhere, in the stars, in the river. To me you're everything that exists, the reality of everything. It might be possible that the world itself is without meaning. Mrs. Dalloway is always giving parties to cover the silence. When I cannot see words curling like rings of smoke round me, I am in darkness, I am nothing. Blame it or praise it, there is no denying the wild horse in us. I don't believe in aging, I believe in forever altering one's aspect to the sun. Anything may happen when womanhood has ceased to be a protected occupation.